This turns right back at you, and I'm going to talk about one of the most sacred cows of our modern society, and that's the notion of retirement. Now, particularly the defined benefit pension plan. Now, this pension plan takes its form in two different parts. It's the private sector and the private sponsored, and then government sponsored. And the private form is virtually non-existent right now. Most companies don't usually have that as an option for retirement, but some still large companies still have it. And of course is the government sector, which most people know about it, whether it be state and local different cities in terms of their government plans, and they usually give you a defined benefit, which essentially means they pay you a certain amount of money for the rest of your existence. Now, as I said before, they pay you amount of money just for showing up for the time that you, and most individuals believe that they earn that money, which essentially they have. But the problem with this particular plan is that it's going bankrupt. And not only is it impossible to maintain, it's mathematically improbable. We already see this model breaking down in Detroit, Chicago, Illinois, Sacramento, California, Puerto Rico, and currently, which is the worst case, is Greece. As a kid, I read and I was told everything about fairy tales, how everything works itself out and everything would be fine if we just, kumbaya, put our hands together, and some things just magically work itself out even in the most worst situations. And fortunately, this fairy tale has been given to baby boomers about the defined pension plans. And there's no really way to cut away from it. I mean, it's so ingrained that disrupting that, even telling them that, hey, it's not available, will cause such a stir that no one even wants to tackle this particular problem. Now, it's estimated that the state and federal private pensions are underfunded by nearly $10 trillion. That's trillion with a T. Even the notion of promising something that's just impossible to do. We just live in a society where we're not even going to talk about this reality. Now, okay, I know that individuals who state this, they've been contributing for all their life, and they own that, they earn that money, and they deserve it. But in some sense, that is correct. But these same individuals who also lived through the greatest economic time in history, where they've had the most opportunities, they really don't understand that the demographics of what's going on. There's over 1 billion individuals who are expecting these kind of benefits worldwide. And the generations coming after are just not enough to sustain that. It's just, again, I go back to this mathematical improbability of it. To essentially say this defined pension plan is essentially bankrupt. But we're not it seems like we're not even talking about this in a real world of reality. You'll have millions of baby boomers who still don't understand that something needs to be sold for them to exist. And with currently 1 million baby boomers worldwide, mass unemployment that's going on globally, and automation, which is just eliminating jobs because you essentially just don't need it. They can find a system or operating system or robots to actually replace the individuals as a whole in terms of these menial jobs. How's that going to support their current lifestyle? I hate to say this, but the defined pension plan was really a fairy tale to begin with, because it didn't take in the forefront of we live in a finite world, and there was no room for error in their models. What makes it even worse, the defined pension plans, they even have bonds attached to it, and bonds are trading at 1%. That's the yield that's given in it. Some of them 2 or 3%. It's improbable. It's unlikely that they're going to be done. And when this really kind of hits its toll in 2016, just wait. A world as we know it will not be the same. Until next time, we live in an information age. where knowledge is right at your fingertips, and use tech more for just entertainment. Talk to you soon.